Gavaroni.
Why does this not have pockets here? What kind of goddamn...
You got one? What are you talking about? Zip up that front one.
Yeah.
And just put your hands in there. It's a normal pocket. There you go. Go on your hot dates like that.
This is where I keep my Joey.
Yeah. Put your taquitos in there.
My Joey. My Joey's what I call my penis.
If you're keeping it up here, I'm both impressed and shocked and scared.
Worried about the future of humanity.
Yeah.
I don't.
That was awkward to pee in public before, and now wearing those belly shirts too.
Those belly shirts. I'm
ready.
doing that thing again where I'm 1,000 feet taller than you. Who's adjusting your seat to be so goddamn tall?
The other day I made it super low, so
okay.
There we go. Now we're both.
You just switch seat because we're the same height, right?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Same height, same dick size, but yeah.
Same height, same length. It's fine.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the Plastic Cards Podcast, the show where we break down the video game news of the week. My name's Fonzie. I'm joined by my co-host, indie game dev / boomer, Gavin Jones.
/ what?
/ boomer.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought you said.
Trying to integrate the OK Boomer.
You know,
meme I've been reading.
It's solid.
I feel like I might be a
So
boomer.
to our one viewer who happens to be a boomer, and
Well,
now
sorry,
we're down.
We lost you already.
We're back to 0 viewers.
My grandma's now offended, and so she's not listening anymore. Yeah. Gavin, how was your weekend?
My weekend was, what did I do? I think I just literally played the Outer Wilds.
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds all weekend, trying to fucking escape Chapter 3, and it just keeps going. The chapters are exponential in length, so I'm a bit concerned when I finally get to Chapter 4, and I'm just like, well, this is where I die.
You know what? I read something. I didn't know what you have to do, but you can beat the game in 12 minutes. Is there a similar Fallout 3 situation where you're always like have the option to beat it quickly, but you're just kind of like the way you're playing to experience the story and stuff, and not just
No,
just
I'm playing to avoid the story for as long as humanly possible.
Okay.
That's how I play these open world games. I'm like,
Gotcha.
The story is the literal. I will not do the story until you force me to, or I accidentally do it. So that's what I've been doing, and like the amount of side quests for like Chapter 1, there wasn't that many. Chapter 2, there was a shit ton. In Chapter 3, I'm just like, I'm gonna die here.
Are you seeing chapters too?
I would describe them as chapters.
Oh, okay.
Like the first planet you're on, I would describe that as Chapter 1.
Gotcha.
It's pretty small, compact. Then you get to the space station. There's kind of some stuff around there. Then you get to the third place, and it's like, fuck. Could you make this any bigger?
Yeah.
But I know I'm getting close to the end. But
Okay.
so that's, I think, all I did this weekend. But
Nice.
I just had a crazy week and a crazy weekend. So
Yep. Now this weekend we got to talk to someone.
we did.
on the
Oh, that was
interwebs.
part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to talk to Callum Monroe. He was he's an indie dev from
New
Ukraine.
York, New York.
Yeah, it's one of those countries.
From Old York.
He's from Christchurch.
Christchurch.
You know what? When I was researching him, I looked up Christchurch, New Zealand for a good hour. And then by happenstance, I happened to like look over his bio again, and it was Christchurch, England. And I was like, oh, fuck. I just spent wasted time. I did learn some stuff about New Zealand. They have like this GDC kind of thing that's specific for New Zealand, where the prime minister actually recorded a little message for it. Like, she's super supportive of the arts and of game dev. Like, that was really cool. And I was gonna talk to him about it. Turns out he doesn't live there. But yeah, at least I learned a little bit about
There you
New
go.
Zealand.
This New Zealand culture.
But that was cool. He's a cool dude, and the episode is up now,
That's
and
good.
we've talked to him and just learned more. I like the idea of doing that and just talking to devs about just the the shit they deal with.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I didn't play any games this weekend. I tried to play a little bit more Outer Worlds. I'm kind of hitting a barrier where it's just not doing it for me. I want to give it some time away, play some other stuff, and then come back to it.
I'm feeling that pretty badly with this one. I knew, especially when I've been drinking,
Okay.
which as an alcoholic, I do frequently. So it's like with like Fallout 4,
Yeah.
like I could play that game endlessly. Like I just keep exploring.
Yeah.
Or Breath of the Wild, and for some reason with this, I think there's a certain level of stress, which makes me get a little bit. I need a break,
Gotcha.
or the story, something about the story. I need a break. Whereas those other open world games, I could play all day. Borderlands 3, could play that one all day. Like the stress isn't. It's a fun stress.
Gotcha.
It was a good stress. So
that's the whole concept too, and how do you manage that side of it? I know with the gameplay, I'm feeling this like I feel like it's a game really built out of that 2008 era where like even to a fault where it's just.
Why do you say that? Is it the
the
eye contact?
Or just like with the gunplay, or like the way I'm loading. So we talked to Callum about this. Maybe I'm the only one experiencing the crazy load times on Xbox One X. But like I'll die and I'll be loaded into outside of the world, outside of the area I need to go into. Then I go into the area, then it loads that. It's like all this kind of bullshit loading. Yeah. And I feel like there's an efficient way to do it. But yeah, I don't know.
That's actually part of the reason I've been using, because with a game like that, I really don't want to. Use fast travel because I feel like it's more immersive, but because of the load times, I'm like, well, why walk all the way over there and then load?
I'm only
when I can just fast travel. The other thing it helps me avoid a little bit is my because I'm a drug addict. If I fast travel, I feel like I can't confirm this, but I feel like the time of that fast travel isn't counted towards my time to which I need another hit.
Really? Okay, so you can push it longer before your character needs that. Interesting.
Exactly. And it's like definitely like I see the little needle in the top left corner of the screen. I'm like, fuck, I need a hit. Like, let's go. And it's kept my meds at, and I can't tell if they're balancing it, but it's kept my med count at a solid, unwavering 35. And that makes me nervous because before I had a habit that the number of syringes or whatever inhalers I had was just going up and up and up and up. But since I've got the habit, it's just solid right there, 35. So I do wonder if it will dispense more if I'm getting below that number and then I'm using them. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
That's cool. So playing Outer Worlds, a game that keeps on giving. Did you ever finish Borderlands 3?
No, that's going to be the first thing I do when I finish this. I was having so much fun though. Like I almost want to just cut off and finish Borderlands 3. I'm probably not that far from the end.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I really want to play Death Stranding. I'm just broke, but like as soon as I can, I want to jump into that game.
I want to get your experiences off of that. That's going to be interesting. Every time when I'm on Twitch, I'm avoiding it like the plague.
Oh yeah.
And the few times I do, I'm definitely surprised, like, because it'll show stills from where people are at.
Okay.
When you're browsing through streams, and
sure, I'm
very surprised at how often the baby is full screen in these stills. I'm like, how?
Well, I know it's a component. You have to somehow like manage the mood of the baby, or like soothe the baby if there's some crazy stuff happening.
Right.
So that is a component. I just like the other day, I finally put not a sensor or something like that on Twitter where it stops anything with the phrase Death Stranding from popping up.
Oh,
so I'm seeing so much like not spoilery stuff, but more information that I want to see. I just want to like experience it.
Right.
So I just barely did that, yesterday. But yeah. Gavin, well, some new stuff happened. Not a crazy amount, but some new stuff happened. We'll get into it here, and then I have some indie games that I wanted to show you. Get your take on those.
Fuck, are you looking at right there?
Yeah, let's get into this, Gavin. So
is that a cartridge?
This is a cartridge, and we're either reading too much into it or not enough. But this article is from GamesRadar.com. Alyssa Marcante, as you say it, writes. Sony, like that, Gavin? Just flexing on your ass?
Are you that guy that comes back from vacation and has to pronounce everything from Puerto Rico?
I'm 100% that.
Exactly correct?
Except I'm actually, like, my family's from there, but I should know more.
From Puerto Rico?
Not from Puerto Rico. But we have this article from...
Jamon. Sorry. All right, I'm done.
When you're buying your oysters, you should use that accent. GamesRadar.com writes, Sony files curious new cartridge patent, but it's probably not for the PS5. So we're looking at a picture of a cartridge. This is leaked from Let's
that
Go.
Would load games faster.
This is leaked from Let's Go Digital. So Let's Go Digital is the same outlet that leaked the PS5 dev kit, which turned out to be true. But now this is a thing, but to what capacity and how it relates to PS5 is the debate. So they write in detail Sony has registered a patent for a new, potentially PlayStation cartridge, according to Let's Go Digital. The site reports that it was filed at the same time Brazilian Patent Office as the June 2019 patent for the PS5 dev kit. The inventor of the curious new product is Yujin Morisiawa, a 15-year Sony veteran who has designed cosmetics, the Agent robot, which is like a Google Home robot, and the PS5 dev kit during his tenure. The news for this cartridge is emerging in the same fashion as the rumors about the next-gen console specs, but it's still not feasible to believe Sony would put a cartridge reader in the PS5. They've never used a cartridge for any other home console, for starters.
Ever.
Right. However, that's still, although the side thing, but the PS1, PS2 used cartridge-based memory, but that was still just a product of that time.
That's a memory card,
right?
Though.
That's
like
yeah.
We're still kind of.
You're totally right. It's just the only thing I could think of with cartridges. But.
Yeah.
However, that still leaves us guessing what this cartridge patent could be for. The patent only includes one photo of a pretty standard-looking game cartridge, so we won't get any hints from that. The PS Vita played cartridges, but Sony has repeatedly expressed disinterest in building a new handheld console, so that seems equally unlikely. No, that is the end of that. This is interesting. So I'll put up images of this cartridge here. You don't. Yeah, I think it's like that's a bridge too far to assume. Hey, we're ditching disc stuff and we're implementing some kind of cartridge based. Even though they already said like, hey, the PS5 is going to use Blu-ray disc drive to some capacity. So, but what do you think? What could this be?
I don't think it's related to the PlayStation.
Gotcha.
I really don't.
I mean, Sony patents stuff all the time, and whether it gets used or not.
Yeah. The thing, I would love it if it were real, though, because you think about the origin of the PlayStation. Like, Sony was working along with Nintendo
you're right.
to make that disc system. Nintendo said, no, we're not doing discs. Sony said, fuck you. We'll make our own disc console.
Put all this
and
money.
then they did.
Yeah.
So that would be such a glorious full circle. It definitely make your games load and or install faster. There are definitely benefits.
Do you think we could see this used as a swappable hard drive that's easier to implement, or we'll still see the same standard like swappable hard drives we've seen in the past consoles?
No, it's a good idea.
Yeah. Now the next possibility is, but unlikely as well, is a PS Vita reemergence where this is the cartridge for a new Vita 2 or that kind of thing. But it seems like they really have no energy in doing another mobile device like that.
I don't feel like Sony operates on the expression of if at first you don't succeed, fail again. Like I don't think, despite the fact that the Vita has had some of the most amazing games ever on it.
Yeah, all the indie stuff kept it alive, and I mean it was a great console, great mobile handheld, but it was just I don't think the support was there from Sony. They seemed to ditch it early on. And so it's
had some amazing God of War games on it.
Yep.
Has solid, I want to say, Uncharted entry, but
that Uncharted game on Vita was fair. I think I bought it. I never finished it, but that was pretty cool. I like the idea of, and now with technology surpassing that, you don't need it anymore. But I like the idea early on of letting you stream your PS4, PS3 gameplay.
Absolutely.
But now you can do it on smartphones. So I mean. Yeah, although that leaves Nintendo to dominate the handheld market. So I feel like other companies like this would say like, hey, there's competition there, but no one's really doing it.
There is a vacuum. There's no DS anymore. There's no Game Boy. Yep. And despite the fact that Nintendo said for whatever reason they said that they're still supporting the 3DS, which no, you fucking ain't.
Yeah.
But there's a vacuum, and the Switch Pocket or Switch Lite or whatever it's called is still not a pocket console.
No, they'd have to do a dramatic redesign to really do something different. But it's interesting whether we'll see this turn into anything or not. Who knows? But that was kind of interesting patent that they filed last week. So. On to the next news article for you, Gavin Jones. We have Google Stadia launch games announced. So this was a couple of days ago here. Early adopters can jump in starting next week. This is from Logan Plant of IGN.com.
Logan Paul?
Logan Paul, yes. He just got done with his boxing match, whatever. And he's on this IGN journalist crew. So Google announced the Google Stadia launch games lineup for when the cloud-based streaming platform launches on November 19th, which is pretty fucking soon. The launch games lineup features 12 games in total, including the entire modern Tomb Raider trilogy, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Destiny 2 The Collection, and more. Google also said that more titles will join Stadia's library before the end of the year. Check out the full lineup in the gallery below. So we have 12
fuck
titles.
Is Guilt?
Guilt is a game. I haven't heard of it. We have a bunch of games that are mostly out now.
They got Thumper? That's gonna work so badly.
You think so?
That's not gonna be playable.
I'm thinking of like Bugsby. What is a Thumper?
Oh, Thumper, dude. You're all right. Let me tell you about it. Close your eyes. Gotcha.
All right, describe it to me.
Let me describe you. Thumper.
Yeah.
You are
I'm thumping.
Picture this beetle right here, like a Egyptian style. I forget what these kinds of beetle are called.
Yeah.
So you're a beetle running along a roller coastery track.
Okay.
And things will appear, and you must battle them. You kind of just shift left and right and hit them to the rhythm of the weird-ass fucking song that is playing currently.
Gotcha.
And once you reach the end of this roller coaster, which you probably won't because it's fucking hard, then you will face a boss battle that's also fucking hard. This game is a nightmare of awesomeness.
Okay. How does that work with streaming? It's got to be like 1-for-1.
It's gonna be terrible. That's why, like, when they're showing these games where it's like the reaction time has to be so thin.
Yeah.
Just Dance, Mortal Kombat, Thumper. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
Gavin, I know you subscribe to Haterade magazine, but I'm hopeful of this. But you're right. This is the test of all tests to have these like really really sensitive games for timing for button equating button mashes to like stuff on screen. So yeah.
Also, you should play Thumper. I had the most when I first played. I'd heard about it, and it was made by either.
I'm gonna look it up.
Who are the people that make Rock Band?
Is it? Oh God, I'm blanking on everything today. But Psionics or no? It's
I think it was either made by Psionics or the people that make GarageBand or
Gotcha.
former people. But it's a cool rhythm game, and I played it at Indiecade in Chicago, and they basically had a trailer with these big ass fucking speakers, and so they're booming. Your ears are bleeding, and it's a dark room, and you're just watching this gorgeously beautiful game.
It's pretty nuts. Now I get like res vibes, that kind of thing.
Very much so.
Gotcha. No, yeah, I mean,
I think it's a little less freeform than res. Like the inputs are incredibly simple, but it's just brutal.
Gotcha.
And it feels cool. They nailed their vibe.
It looks like a mechanical acid trip. Like it looks nuts.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, and I think
like
I want to say it's all original music. This isn't stuff you played. This is made specifically for this experience.
Gotcha.
And it's just badass.
Okay. Well, Thumper. Don't sleep on Thumper.
Thumper. So, and also that's going to have the additional problem, which these stream games have, which is the faster stuff is happening on screen, that's going to wreck your bit rate. And this game is moving incredibly fast. It's going to look like blurry squares.
Gotcha.
So,
I mean, we're going to find out soon. Well, we're not, but whoever, opted in for this early access to Stadia and bought those fancy controllers and stuff, they're going to really test the shit out of this. But
I mean, I know I just drank a handle of a Haterade just there. But Red Dead Redemption 2, though, that's pretty cool.
Although, you know what? So I've been researching this online. Apparently, this might be the console port. I was thinking, hey, if they can come out the gate with Red Dead Redemption 2, like the PC version, and you can stream it with all the, the crazy light rays and whatnot, like that'd be dope.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's necessarily what they're actually supporting here. But we have Red Dead 2, we have Mortal Kombat 11, Just Ends 2020, that game Guilt, Destiny 2, Assassin's Creed. They're all kind of current available titles, but this is almost more of a soft launch.
I thought I heard they may have an exclusive.
They do. I think they pushed that one back. I think you're right. So there was a title that they
Guilt?
One of their devs that they actually. I think this one's pushed. No, it's coming up. So Guilt, set in a creepy, melancholic world. It's from Tequila Works.
Why do I know Tequila Works?
Yeah, they should. They come to mind. They should have. They made stuff that we know about. I'm gonna Google them real quick.
They made the Leisure Suit Larry series.
So Rhyme, Deadlight, that kind of thing.
Deadlight.
Yeah.
Wait, Deadlight or Dying Light?
Deadlight. Look, it appears to be Tequila Works did Deadlight.
What is Deadlight?
That was a post-apocalyptic.
Is this that game we talked about forever ago and we couldn't remember the name? Where you're like Nope, different game.
Yeah, very much like not a Braid, but like a player. No, it's that Inside. It's like that
Yeah.
that kind of style of game, but yeah, where it's like side scrolling, that kind of thing. But yeah, so Tequila Works, they're making Guilt, which is, we're kind of looking at the trailer now. It looks almost like a Pixar kind of creepy game. It looks interesting. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But
Okay.
now that's apparently launching with Stadia. So
I'm always curious about when they spell a game weird like that, because I know, like, so my developer name is Drunk Devs, which when people hear it, they say, "The fuck did you just say?" Like, I didn't catch a word of that. So when you have to like spell it for somebody, they're like, "Oh, it's guilt, but it's spelled
right.
G-Y-L-T." You're like, all right.
Well, like most kids born in the last couple of years, they all have the fucked up names. Name our child.
Their E's are backward threes.
I wouldn't mind that. In my name. Gavin, our next news story is Microsoft's XO19 event kicks off this week with Inside Xbox Live show. Now, XO19 is their kind of equivalent to like Sony's last events, where they're just taking over and showing the games they want to show, and it's kind of like celebration of Xbox. So they have one coming up very soon. Emily Garris, of VG247 writes, this year's XO19 event is kicking off with a new episode of Inside Xbox this week, Microsoft announced. If you won't be there for the XO19 live in London, you can tune in to watch the event live. During the event, 12 Xbox Game Studio titles will be on show, including new first-party game reveals, brand new Game Pass titles, and apparently some big Project X Cloud news. As was previously announced, those attending XO19 will be available to demo over 24 titles, including Age of Empires 2, we have Bleeding Edge, Doom Eternal, and so forth. So, yeah, they're showing off this event. This is the Thursday, I want to say, afternoon time.
You skipped over Battletoads, motherfucker.
You're right, Battletoads. I was kind of skimming some of that stuff. I didn't mean to. And Project Resistance, too. They can play that in real time there.
Is that the card game?
That's the Resident Evil like spin-off where you're kind of controlling a room and
don't give
yeah.
fuck. Can you
Also
look up
Jedi
Bleeding Edge? Wasn't that a cool one?
You know, it could be. I will Google that.
Was that a Bethesda thing? Bleeding Edge game.
Bleeding Edge. Let's see. So
I want to say this is one that a lot of people got upset about, and I was like the only one. No,
it looks like that Squid Game mixed with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. It's like a skating where you're shooting at the same time, but it's like that. What's that ink-based a Nintendo game where you're like shooting the ink and then jumping into it?
I'm sorry.
With the squids?
I can't even process what I'm
So
looking.
it's like
Nothing has happened.
Well, you're skating, but
I
I'm
thought
not
this
sure.
is supposed to be like a character-based fighting game.
No, I must be thinking of something else then. You know what this reminds me of? Do you remember Unreal? One of them had like a skating or a kind of component like that as you're shooting, as you're moving around. So
I thought this was that like Team Ninja thing.
No. Ninja Theory? Maybe it is. Oh, you're right. It is that.
Well, this looks way lamer than the pre-rendered trailer.
So here we go. So let's look at some actual like footage or trailers.
You guys want us to report on some old news? Because we've got old
this one was,
news.
I think you're right. This was announced, I want to say the last E3 that Xbox had.
Yeah.
And they showed off all these different characters and whatnot. So I guess this is playable.
I remember a bunch of people complaining because they're like, these are the most generic characters. And I'm like, well, they're not
I see.
bad.
No, it looks dope. You're right. I totally blanked on this. So this is going to be at XO19, either playable on the show floor at their event, or they're going to show off some more information on it. Either way,
I didn't
I'm on
know they
board.
made Enslaved. More people should have played Enslaved.
Never played that.
It was so good.
Nice.
It was like, now this is a weird comparison, but if you like the Uncharted games,
Yeah.
you would like Enslaved.
Gotcha.
It's
Can you
very-
describe the concept? to me?
It is a retelling of Journey to the West.
Okay.
It has a gentleman by the name of Monkey.
Sure.
Straight up ripped out of Journey to the West. The graphics are really good.
Is it Slaved Odyssey to the West?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And basically, she, at the very start of the game, puts this crown upon his head, in which if she dies, his head will fucking explode.
Oh.
And so she's making him take her to this I want to say it was like a promised land or something.
Gotcha.
But the gameplay was one of these like almost Space Marine levels of perfect mix of range combat and close-up combat, and it was just incredibly satisfying. The platforming was really good. It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
and
I've never heard of this. This is interesting.
The story is really good, and the ending has like a fucking Matrix 3 level twist at the end, where you're just like, all right, well.
Now, did they ever, pursue a sequel to this, or was this just on its own?
No, but also based on like the way it ended, like the story's done.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't. And I don't believe, now I don't know enough about, I don't remember which culture's mythology this is. I want to say Chinese, but I don't believe Journey to the West or Odyssey to the West or whatever it's based off of has a sequel.
Gotcha.
So.
And this is Ninja Theory. No, I didn't realize that they had made this.
It's fucking good. It's
awesome.
Good. I hear the PC port is quite bad.
Okay. Yeah, because this is what, 10 years ago, 9 years ago? I'm looking at the IGN review.
Pretty old.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Almost 10 years. Wow. God.
Gavin, time is going. So yeah, we have XO19. Now I find it pretty interesting. So there's a big Project xCloud news. I don't know what that will be, whether they give a release date for it, because currently it's like in beta right now.
It's got porn.
That's how we're gonna win the streaming war. Also, 12 Xbox Game Studios titles will be on show, and then some new first-party game reveals. So I mean, it's a pretty legit, little announcement that they're gonna do.
I mean, it's got Doom Eternal.
Yeah, that's
just a game
playable on site. Yeah,
that's a big deal. I don't know how many people have played it.
Right. Maybe at various like PAXs or whatever they've had builds that you could play. But
yeah, good.
So this is Thursday, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they reveal there. Gavin, I know this is near and dear to your heart. This is the.
Have you watched it yet?
No. So I'm gonna boot it up right now. Now, like last night when I was building some of the news stories, I just had some of the latest like leaked images, and then sure enough, this morning they actually premiered the trailer.
This is what I woke up to. Like I woke up, I loaded up Destructoid. I saw it. And I'm like, well, I had to watch that. Well, I'll get your opinion and then I'll tell you mine. But okay. I think we're gonna share the same opinion.
Already, the first shot is of like whatever that traditional First World One in Sonic is.
I get the feeling this was in the plot before that first trailer. I think this was originally.
Yeah, I think we're seeing concept that wasn't shown in the trailer yet. Because all they did was redesign. Theoretically, all they did was redesign the Sonic character, but this was still a part of it. Although
I'm really not sure what all was like. It's hard to tell. Like they may not have changed much.
Yeah.
Between the original concept, just like maybe just the look of Sonic. I will say this made me laugh a couple of times.
Nice.
So
trailer?
I think it's good.
So picturing the old Sonic that we know in this world seems nuts to me. Already, we're just looking at the image.
What
of
if
the
this looked
recreation.
worse? What if this was?
Maybe they did work on that too. But you think they had to extend the release date like 6 months. So they had to extend it enough to give them time to. Is that enough time to work on the environment, or just the character design to redesign rather?
Dude, this environment is not that fucking phenomenal that you couldn't redo that.
I'll give you 5 minutes, Gavin. We'll see what you can. All right, come on.
We got a tree and a big old penis, and that's all I had time to draw. Don't worry about the fact that the penis is vastly more detailed.
Yeah. I didn't sleep. I just worked on that penis. Okay, yeah, let's play this trailer.
Yeah, you want to put on some audio so you can hear it?
Oh, yes. This is loud and clear.
A little ball of super energy in an extremely
playing the video now.
On my planet, people were always after my powers, so I came to yours. It gets a little low.
Yeah, he looks a million times better.
Right.
I am living my best life on Earth.
Oh, and he's adorable.
Right.
So they went the Pikachu Detective Pikachu route, where it's like a cuter version of the character and more traditional.
I think this is less realistic than Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, you're right.
Which is good, because his proportions make no sense.
No, they don't. They never
you
did.
need those skinny legs, the skinny arms.
Oh, they're giving him 2 eyes though, right? He's always had just the brow.
The creepy teeth are gone. Yeah.
I like the change in song. It's not the Coolio's Gangster Paradise.
It's life or death.
Good morning, my
Jim Carrey didn't change a thing on him because you didn't have to.
No.
I'm going to give you 5 seconds to tell me where it is.
Does he have a knife?
can't be happening to me.
Oh my God, stop the car right now. What? The world's largest rubber band ball? We gotta see it.
No, this is not some fun family road trip.
You're right. It was lame. Gift shop was cool.
Is that still John Raffia?
Yeah, I don't think they changed that. Yeah, sounds like him.
Whatever this creature is, I'm going to uncover the source of its power.
I'm fully on board as Jim Carrey or Jim
Right.
Carrey as Dr. Bacchus. That's awesome.
It's good to see Jim Carrey do weird, over-the-top roles
Uh-huh.
again. He hasn't done them for a long
No,
time.
you're totally right.
Of course I want a latte.
I love the way you make them. Gotta lay low. Let me show you how it's done.
There's going to be a lot of fast
Get out
jokes.
of here.
Right.
Time to go.
I always wanted to
He was reading the comic, the Flash comic,
Right.
Nailed it. Uh-oh.
with the Ramones song. That's on point.
You're not dead.
I have no idea.
Yeah, he's like peak Jim Carrey. That's awesome.
Right.
Aw, this one is cute. Let's keep him. Oh, come on. You've got car insurance, right?
Why would you throw your life away for this silly little alien?
Good times.
He's my friend.
Let's go! This is my power. And I'm using it to protect my friends. So, you're supposed to be Tom's best friend that he won't shut up about. Well, I don't see the appeal. That is very gross.
I love that part.
That's awesome.
So,
yeah,
so
that's
thoughts.
a million times better.
All right.
The character is right where he needs to be. I wonder if because I imagine they changed it in the writing and stuff. So the writing already.
Maybe
already
not. Like, what do you need to change writing wise?
No, I mean like yeah, you're right. So they didn't have time, nor like should they have. But I feel like it works better with this character. This character is like a more cartoony, fun version of Sonic. I mean, it is Sonic. So it's just it was not going to work with that weird, creepy, like teenage, lanky looking Sonic.
I love the flex of doing the scene again because that was a meme.
Right.
And then they put in the like, all right,
God,
all right, get rid of the
freeze frame
teeth. It's creepy. Like he still has teeth, but not creepy teeth. We've got yeah,
I can't find it, but yeah, no, it works and it's great, and I can't wait for this. Am I gonna watch it day one? No, but I'm glad that because this is all fans wanted. I imagine just something that was more in line with the the character, and it's on point now. No, like kudos to the team to be able to redesign this character in what they gave him like an extra 6 months in a can
look at
of
this face.
Dr.
We've got a
Pibb.
still of him like playing with the little fiddly ball.
Looks great.
And he just like the expression. I think the expression is more there. The thing, I mean, it's definitely more, possibly more so than Detective Pikachu, which I've never watched. So
No.
my
I've heard
opinion
it's good,
is
though. I need to watch it.
entirely invalid. But this looks more of a kids movie.
Yeah, and that's how it
Detective
should've been.
Pikachu, I think I could watch and enjoy the shit out of. This, I'm gonna be like, I wish I had like a nephew or somebody with
Right.
me, and so I'm not just this weirdo. I'll
Or
still
just
watch
super
it.
high.
Right, super high, but it looks better. It's good to see Jim Carrey being a
Yeah,
fucking
Jim
weirdo
Carrey,
ago.
I think what
again.
also this is a great trailer too. The way they cut the
Yes.
trailer was amazing, but like they showcased more Jim Carrey. I don't think they did that enough in that last one. So they just showed how funny Jim Carrey is and how he's really going to help carry this movie as they should
Right.
have done. And that was another mistake along with the horrible character design. But yeah, and they got to show more Jim Carrey off and they just show how it's a funnier movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, that redesign is great.
Give us I guess it was kind of scary Jim Carrey in the last
you're
one.
right.
Whereas
Yeah.
this is give us goofy cartoon character
Mm-hmm.
in human form Jim Carrey. It's also, can we talk about who's the co-star in this movie? What's his fucking name?
Oh, it's Cyclops
yeah, Cyclops.
from the X-Men movies.
Like this guy, I feel like his career is impenetrable. Like it doesn't matter how many bad things he's been in or
What kind
how
of
many
bad
things
stuff,
he's
though?
subpart. Like his character of Cyclops is like, to be fair, Cyclops is a very like not likable character.
Now watch your mouth because this is my Cyclops here. This is what I think of as Cyclops. This is my guy.
It's still like it's
Now pump your brakes.
not great. But I still like when he was in 30 Rock, I'm gonna be like, all right, that was the one.
He was
and
great
I'm
in 30
glad
Rock.
she ended up with him in the end. But yeah, it's like he can be in some truly terrible shit and come out and we're just like, we're fine with
You're
it.
totally right. Something
Wasn't
about
he
him.
Superman at one point? Like, am I thinking of somebody else? Maybe he was in a Superman film. I feel like that was it. He wasn't Superman. He was in a Superman film.
I don't think so, but I think it was something close to that. I mean, he was a Cyclops for sure, but like, yeah, I'm wondering because I get the same vibe. But he for sure wasn't Superman, but he might have done something, and I just can't think of it. But
Love this
yeah,
man.
he's awesome. All right.
He could have been. What was that film that like wrecked Michael Myers' career? Like the fucking Dolly, whatever.
Well, there's the Love Guru, and then
yeah, it
there's
was the
also
Love Guru. Like that guy could have been the Love Guru and came out, and people are like, yeah, why? Yeah, okay, let's keep on keeping on.
Yeah. No, yeah. He's something about him. He's just anything he does, he could just shake off whatever the last.
I love
thing
that
is.
we have the creepy Sonic costumes.
Oh God. Yeah, but overall, I mean, this is what people wanted. This is a great thing. I can't stress enough how the team had to, this design team, the artists involved had to do all of the fucking work. And I imagine this is what they wanted from the beginning.
I'm sure.
And they're like, hey, yeah, dummies, let's do what we told you to do in the first place.
It's so much. I feel like he's more expressive though. Like they use that
Yeah.
cartoon face to make him go to 11.
Now, there's some conspiracy theories out there, as there
I know.
always
That-
are.
This was the
that
plan
this is
the
on
whole
purpose, but
time.
there's no way.
No.
No,
Not
because
a
especially with
chance.
movies, like with studios, they plan all these releases to the fucking T. And to postpone a movie is a big deal, especially to put more money. They dumped,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, $10, $20 million to just to like the time and the CGI required to
Yep.
rework a character. They wouldn't do that for a fucking
No.
advertising play. There's no way.
It's a fun theory, but they don't have that kind of money.
No, there's no way. So I pulled up. This is Kotaku kind of assembled all the best like takes from Twitter here. So I'm going to pull up
God.
this article here, just different various memes and whatnot here. So let's.
I've
get
just seen
into
1,000 different variants on the Drake meme of the whole.
Oh yeah. Although I want to redo it with you doing that, where you're like,
I've seen some solid redos of that once he got into the whole like, wanting to sleep with a minor thing.
with Millie Bobby Brown.
Is that the girl
She's,
from
Stranger Things, yeah.
Yeah.
My internet's not.
How
fucking
is her
working.
name Millie Bobby Brown?
It's because you can't be called Bobby Brown, so you got to throw something in there. Ted Bobby
That
Brown.
still doesn't not
Jamie Bobby
sound like
Brown.
an early 90s rapper. Like,
Well, she found a way to navigate that.
I guess so.
Kevin, once you stall, I'm gonna change my internet carriers real quick. I'm gonna call Verizon just briefly and get this taken care
You changed the name of your router.
I have two different routers, and one of them I think is being slow as fuck, or the internet's down. That's
How do you
possibility
have
too.
two different routers?
The house is so big. I mean, we just have so much money now that like the Wi-Fi doesn't carry us far. So there's an extender in the house.
Okay, so you have an extender, not
Yeah.
two routers, because that's how you end up with a worse
for the bedroom and for the
signal.
internet. You know what I'm saying? I got two different. Got my bases covered. God damn, it's not working. Anyways, they assembled some of the some very funny memes that we could have referenced, but we can't because it's not fucking working.
Well, I guess we gotta come up with our own shit on this here podcast.
Or a lot of the funnier ones were like the you versus the guy she told you not to worry about with like
Oh,
older
right.
and new Sonics compared to each other.
Yeah,
Now they're on the right track. Great.
I'm
February.
surprised they didn't do their own version of it, where you have Creepy Sonic holding hands with that one like child that he falls in love with in one of the games. Who's
Oh, God.
looking back at new Sonic would have been perfect.
I wouldn't mind a lot of jokes that are heavy into the lore and just like making fun of where they've come and just far that they had to redesign the character in the first place.
Yeah.
If their Creepy Sonic is walking in the background, that's gold. Like if you can do stuff like that.
Now,
Really
can
just-
we use this power of the influence of the internet to make other films spend more money on their CG? Like, if we do another Lord of the Rings film, can we get back to like the original trilogy standards of like CG? Because that
don't
shit was
know.
actually fantastic.
See, they might go, yeah, that's cool. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing. Like, I
They
think
are,
there's
yeah.
very specific situations where a studio might bend to whatever, the fan reaction. But it also only helped them the fact that, hey, we're going to redesign this. Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's kind of a first with movies, I feel like, to actually change the movie based on how people felt about it. But it was the best decision, I think. So as far as we can tell, the movie's not out yet. But yeah.
First popular mods for Red Dead Redemption 2, all about skipping. The skipping. Going to Skippers. Does Skippers still exist?
We don't. We used to have one in town. We don't. It's a seafood restaurant. I don't know. They might. There's like Sea Galley. We have that. So
yeah, but that's like a local independent thing. I don't know that Skippers still exists.
Restaurant that saved my life. So Skipper's Restaurant. I'm gonna Google that.
Still fucking exists,
Yep,
dude.
we have a Skipper's in Puyallup, Kennewick, Washington. It might be a Northwest thing. I wonder.
Bro, we got to do a road trip to Puyallup.
You know what? I'm all set on going to Skipper's, actually. I'm good on this weird seafood. No, yeah, so it's a chain that's specific to Oregon and Washington State.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought that was everywhere.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen like comedians tell jokes about Skippers. So there are other states that don't have these weird fucking signs in the shape of an anchor?
So there are stores outside of Oregon and Washington. So Idaho, Montana, Oregon, Utah have Skippers.
So that's like Whataburger then. Like it's mostly in Texas, but a little bit out of...
Yeah.
All right.
If your state has a Skippers, let me know so I can tell you to not go there. But give us a heads up here. Yeah, Gavin. So to move on to our next story here, we have some Red Dead Redemption 2. So it came out. There's now the PC mods. And that's what I love about this day and age is that now that it's on PC, we can finally get all the fucking,
nudie mods and
nudie mods. And you have the train guy. The
nudie mods.
What's that train that I love? Thomas the Train. I want to see Thomas the Train everywhere.
Yeah.
That's a great recreation of that. So one of the big ones right now is Lenny's Simple Mod. I was going to show you that. It's basically where you can change every character for, you can change the main character for any other character in the game. So here, this is IGN's.
I'm sorry, we're a giant fucking eagle now?
You're not giant, but you're a larger eagle. But so you can change the character of Arthur for any other character mod in the game. So you're an eagle. And eventually you can change to a child as you're talking. So I'm going to put the audio here. And it basically works. I'm going to skip around. Like one of the cooler ones is...
when I see him, I think of... okay, that's weird. I'm thinking of... who's that guy from SNL? That's the really weird guy that he's from... God, what
like the newer SNL stuff? Or?
Yeah, he's one of the newer guys. He does the okay guy. The...
Oh, he's a comedian. Yeah, he's younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That's all I was picturing when I was seeing that young child speaking with an adult man's voice.
Yeah, so that robot was one of the random characters in the background. In the
There
game.
was a robot in
There's
the game?
you never see it move around, but somebody's making a robot. So I'm just kind of skimming through their article here or their video here,
How do
but
people even make this kind of thing?
I guess
Like,
it's
I don't...
You just tell the game, hey, just replace me with whatever character.
Because I think with
you can play.
I was watching the stream with Risk of Rain 2,
Mm-hmm.
and the developers made it so like anyone could play any character in the game, but clearly like they had put in controls for it. Like this shit,
okay.
I don't know how you just become a wolf or a bird. Like
Yeah,
that's insanity.
Yeah. I've seen footage of like the wolf trying to ride a horse, and it just doesn't work. Like your anatomy just twists around, and yeah, there's a limit to it. Yeah, but
You're
so
a horse trying to ride another horse.
the game just crashes instantly. Yeah, so I mean, I love that now we're past the release, so we're gonna see all these crazy mods, and I'm fully on board. I want to see Iron Man flying around in this world.
I would love to see what'll happen as far as like the role playing community, because they, with like to my understanding, with Grand Theft Auto, put in all sorts of different movements, right? So
Yeah.
you're being arrested, you can then put your hands behind your back.
Oh, okay.
You can be cuffed. You can do all these different things that you couldn't do beforehand. So it'd be really interesting to see what they do.
I wonder with mods,
insane.
can you add your own like actions or scripts, to a model where you can add your own animations that aren't in the... Because then you're not limited to whatever they happen to motion capture. You can just like load your own.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was. Yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying. Like
Gotcha.
they did that, and then they just took off.
I see.
So that's why part of the reason why Grand Theft Auto roleplay is just batshit insane.
Yeah. Do you think we'll see a GTA 5 re-release for the next gen consoles just to keep that money train going? Because that game is like always top 10 selling for the past, I don't know, 6 fucking years. Like, do you think they just re-release it again, better version, like, prettier version to just keep it just...
I don't see why
Keep
not.
running. Right. Or like Minecraft. We're going to see a Minecraft, not 2, but a Minecraft on next gen, right?
Well, now that they have those cards, they can do the ray tracing built into these consoles.
There you go.
There's no reason not to have that version.
Exactly. But then you just keep that train rolling where you just keep making money. I mean, I think we're going to see that. And I'm fine with it. I'm just saying, like, I
Grand
think
Theft
that's
Auto,
a
I
natural...
see. Yeah, I really don't know what they do besides up the resolution because the textures were already fantastic.
Yeah,
and that'd be so much work to redo those textures. It already has a bajillion polygons. Like, you don't need to do much. Just give it a better resolution.
People will buy it. I think they will spend the money working on it.
Load it a little quicker.
Yeah.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
Gotcha. We will see, Gavin. Also, I don't know how crunk you are for Star Wars Jedi, but that's coming up soon.
crunk.
Me too. The closer we get to release, like, so the...
Oh, I was being sarcastic.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
I'm
I know
crunk.
people that care about this are excited.
Yeah.
It's supposedly
Looking
it's
at
going to be a good game.
So November 15th, this thing actually comes out. The review embargo lifts this Thursday. So we're going to find out some early impressions pretty soon. I did pull up this article.
So it releases when?
Comes out the 15th. The embargo lifts this Thursday.
So they gave it a solid how many days is that?
1 day.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah. 1 day and some change.
So that may not see. I like it when they give it a good time, like Death Stranding gave it a little bit.
But does that always mean the game they strategically place that embargo, or sometimes it's just time frame where it ends up being there?
I'd be more concerned if it was same day.
Yeah.
But
or past the release date. Talking about it.
no, I'm not really worried about it.
There was some early impressions that we talked about a couple episodes ago where people were positive playing it behind closed doors.
Right.
So, I think it's at the very least going to be a good, experience. So whether it falls apart beyond that, I don't know, but
you got to hope.
I'm pretty hopeful for this release. So this is from IGN. Matt Kim writes, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order won't have early access on EA Access. So EA's big release of the year, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, is out later this week, November 15th. And to prevent spoilers from leaking early, the publisher announced that there will not be a timed early access trial for Jedi Fallen Order. Instead, EA Access members will get 2 exclusive cosmetics. EA Access is one of EA's several monthly subscription services. This one is for PS4 and Xbox One owners. For $4.99 a month, members get access to a collection of EA games, member discounts, and early trials for upcoming EA titles before they're released. The service isn't quite as exhaustive as EA's more premium Origin Access Premier service on PC, but gives EA fans a good chunk of time with unreleased EA games days before their official launch. So it isn't coming to that exclusive service, but from what I understand, with that $4.99 a month subscription, do you get access to play those games? And you don't have to buy the actual retail version of the game. Is that what I'm understanding? Uh-huh. So then you can play Jedi Fallen Order for $5,
and then unsubscribe when you're done.
I'm doing that. Can you do that?
That's what I did with fucking Anthem.
Anthem was the game to do that for sure. I think this one is probably going to end up being worth the $60, but just to try it out for sure, I want to pay $5 just to try it out.
That's the thing. This is like a $60 fucking game. This is an old school. Give you a proper storyline. To me, this just makes me think of not that the gameplay is the same, but like story wise and kind of what we're getting. This is an Uncharted game.
Oh yeah, I
with
see the
Jedi.
similarities all the time. Yeah, it's an Uncharted in Star Wars world.
So
which there was a Uncharted game or esque game with the Uncharted original writers that was scrapped apparently.
Oh,
that was had the original writers for Uncharted, and for some reason it fell through. Where they just didn't make it anymore. But
I mean, that's the thing. Like, as much as I'm totally for one of those plans and being able to play this for $5 a month and then canceling after 1 month, to me, this is the kind of game I would like to pay $60 for. Give me my Uncharted's.
Yeah, I think it's worth it for sure.
Give me my Darksiders, my Zeldas,
where it's all single player content. There's no loot boxes. It's you get the game and it's a single player focused where it's all there.
Yeah.
This is that experience, I think. So we'll see. It's very soon. Thursday, we'll get the final impressions on that from different outlets.
See, maybe this is part of the reason why single player games are dying. Because if
Are
you're
they,
paying
though?
this, well, that's what people have said, and they've been saying that for a while.
Yeah.
But it's so you have these streaming services, right? You're paying $5 a month for it, right? So you maybe spend 40 hours with this game, whereas with Battlefront, Battlefield, whatever you have. Multiplayer game, you're going to be spending 120 hours.
Sure.
So you look at the single player only game and you go, well, wouldn't really worth that time.
I wonder if with these pricing models, if the higher ups at EA are going, hey, we're less, or we're not less interested, but we're more interested in people having being subscribers versus like getting that $60 every time.
Absolutely.
With like the Netflix and other, HBO, they have their own, Disney Plus just launched. Like, I feel like these different corporations would rather people be subscribed to them than buy these things a la carte. So maybe that's where the money's to be made. I'm not sure.
I think the confusion is though, because like they're probably looking at like Netflix, right, and like all their original series they can come out. It's like, well, it's still cheaper to make a movie in most cases. I want to say, so
yeah.
Yeah.
And while you might buy 1 or 2 movies a year, they're getting you for whatever amount of money to pay them every month for multiple years.
Yeah. And I'm not like, you can't at this point, like socially, you can't unsubscribe to. Do you know a person that doesn't have Netflix?
ISIS. I don't know who doesn't. I don't trust them if they don't have it.
Like Hulu, sure. You don't have to have Hulu.
I don't trust
Amazon,
people with Hulu, first of all, but yeah.
Well, I'll just get out of your house. Like,
we give you multiple times.
I pay the extra tier of Hulu
What?
just so I can avoid those fucking ads.
Oh,
'Cause
sure.
I'm like, why am I paying for
I've done the
ads?
trial stuff for that, yeah. but-
Right. Amazon Plus. It's like, I mean, it's handy. Do you
Yeah.
have Amazon Plus?
I have it, but I've never used it. But
You've
it's
never
there.
watched the shows?
No.
I'm sorry.
I haven't. It's just something about it. I have to set up so many different things, and I just go, you know what? No, never mind. Just so I can peruse the Amazon menu like I do with Netflix. Nah, I'm good.
Well, it's quicker because they have way less
There's
shit.
5 things.
Like the amount of originals they have is about that thick.
Gotcha.
And that percentage of them are fantastic.
I
though.
see.
Like,
Yeah, is it the boys or the dudes or what's the show?
that's
on there?
right. You
Yeah.
haven't watched The
haven't.
Boys, dude.
That's maybe the only show that would make me go, oh, okay. Because even that Hitler show.
I don't know that you can start with The Boys though.
What do you
That's like you can't. It's kind of just downhill from there. Like it's great, but you
Yeah.
can't just start with the best and go, okay, this is like you
I
don't.
just watched that and
You don't watch television for this first time and go, oh, Game of Thrones. What's this?
No, that's exactly what I want to do. I don't want to waste bullshit with like Hogan's Heroes or fucking MASH. Like, let me.
You
find
can watch The
best stuff.
Expanse. I'd be curious to know what you think of The Expanse.
That's the alien show with the aliens.
Are there aliens?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is that spoiler? I just remember there's.
It would be spoilers if I said.
Okay.
But it's one of those shows too where like I saw the reviews for it because I'm like season 1 gets like an 85 or something on Rotten Tomatoes,
Yeah.
and after that it's 100.
Whoa.
So I'm just like, and as I was watching season 1, I'm like, how is this 85? What are you smoking? This
one
is
guy
so
was just
good.
like, no.
And then I got to the next seasons, and I'm like, all right, it's good.
I keep hearing good things about that show.
It's good, and the other thing that people talk that the writers cared so lovingly about, which is part of the reasons why I love Futurama so much, is they actually base most of it in science
Gotcha.
and fact. So it works. It all feels believable. The horror feels very palpable, and also they kill off half of the crew within like the first few episodes.
Okay.
So
I like
just-
shows that are willing to do that.
Everyone's invincible.
Gotcha.
To the point, like there's a few where later on you're like, you are clearly invincible,
Right.
And if you die, I will punch a writer.
And that's why they're invincible too.
Right? If they killed off my favorite character, who I've always wanted to write into a game, so the fact that they put him in the show and it worked, I'm like, oh, that's my boy.
Yeah.
I'd
I
be
like when there's
so mad.
stakes. Like there's
There are
just,
stakes.
It doesn't always have to be there, but that's also with like The Walking Dead characters like Daryl, where it's like, yeah, he's not going anywhere because that's what puts butts in seats is people watching his character.
Right.
So
It
He's
does
fine.
kind of remind me of there was this GDCA talk I was watching very recently, which is like no one remembers the fucking plot. They only remember the characters.
of Expanse.
No,
Walking
just
Dead.
towards games. They were talking
Oh.
about games. They're just like, really, like your plot doesn't matter.
Mm.
Just interesting. No one get like, what's the plot of Mass Effect? Can you tell me the plot of Mass Effect?
There's aliens and they.
Can you tell me your favorite character off the top of your head?
No, there's Shepard, Dax Shepard, I think is there, and the ending people don't like. I remember
Like
those
you
are
can,
things
you
that
can
pop up.
you can remember a weird T-Rex guy, and you probably liked him. You can probably remember Blue Chick.
Blue Chick. Oh yeah. With the cool hair, like
weird,
her skin was
barely
her hair.
covering her titties chick.
Yeah.
You can remember Seth Green character, not Seth Green.
With this,
Who's
I don't remember that.
Joe Rogan? No, who's the Who's the Adult Swim guy?
Something McFarlane?
Or not Adult Swim. Robot Chicken.
Seth Green.
Seth Green.
Yeah.
He's the pilot. So you can probably remember, like, you remember these guys. You can't remember the fucking plot.
Gotcha.
Or Uncharted or Last of Us. Do you actually remember the plot of
I do remember the plot, but
You also
I see
played
what you
it
mean.
last week, I'm sure.
Yeah. I see what you mean, where the characters are the focus, and what they
Right.
go through is the only reason why you care about that is because of their change in character. In the
Right.
plot.
So The Expanse, you have that. They're all phenomenal except
Mm.
for the main character.
Oh, okay.
He is terrible.
Really?
And I can't tell if it's his writing. I can't tell if it's the directing. I can't tell if it's his acting.
Huh.
But he is not good. And everyone else is so good, I don't give a fuck. I will keep watching to see what happens next.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, one day I will watch the Expanse.
Anyway, video games.
You know, I'll
That's what our
marathon.
podcast
I'll
is.
marathon Zombieland and Expanse, and I'll get it all over.
Don't put. Look, I'm not sure you're going to like Zombieland. I want you
It's
to.
on Netflix. I thought about watching it the other day. But
I'm not sure you will.
No.
The boys you will fucking adore.
yeah, I hear good things.
Especially like I feel like if you're liking what you've watched so far, and I've only watched the first episode of The Watchmen, you're gonna like.
I really like Watchmen. I was going to mention that.
I need to keep watching. I need to watch
I gave
more.
you my social security card. I gave you all my information. Just go on there and download.
I will.
Okay, please. It's great.
I think I think if you like that more realistic tone, you're gonna like. Yeah, you're gonna like it. The only weird thing I will say is maybe if you can skip the warnings beforehand about what kind of graphic content will be in each episode, because that gives me and I'm gonna be one of the few people to complain about that, but that gives you like you're waiting for it to happen.
Oh, okay.
So it's like graphic content, graphic this kind of content. It's
Yeah.
just like, all right, it's happened. It's about to. I'm waiting for it. It's like, all right.
Like it never lives up to it, so you're expecting.
No, I'm just
something
saying it would. And again, I'm going to be one of the weirdos saying this, but it's like it'd be a little bit better if you didn't know it was coming.
Sure. I
And
understand.
I only say that because now I feel like people that do need a trigger warning. I think it is completely appropriate.
Sure.
It will trigger people, but if you're not prone to that,
Yeah.
it's a little bit better to not see shit coming.
Gotcha. Because there's a surprise aspect to it, and there's
Right, you're not waiting for it.
But now once they do it the first time, then you know. Oh, okay, this is that.
it doesn't
kind of
repeat though. Most of the shit doesn't repeat.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it's a little bit better to not have some sort of warning. But again, if you are someone who will be triggered about this stuff, yeah, absolutely watch
Right,
that shit.
right.
And then when it's coming, like you're gonna know it's coming. Go ahead and
Gotcha.
leave the room. That's fine. You're not you know what happened. You don't need to watch it.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Gavin, we also have some very.
I can't believe you posted this. I'm surprised at how many people love this story. Because
That's awesome.
it's just cute. It's just fucking cute. I would love to see like the other shit he's doing. I hope this grows his stream. I hope people want to see the other crazy shit he does.
So the original article was from Zach Zweisen of Kotaku. Someone mashed buttons so fast they broke Mario Party 4.
They didn't break it.
Well, who
They
knows?
just
Some folks are just really good at matching buttons, and for everyone has their own technique. Maybe you use 2 fingers. Maybe you hold the controller weird. Odds are, though, you aren't as good at matching buttons as Ludwig Ogren, I want to say, who smashed.
tell me that's his real name.
Who mashed so fast and so hard in a Mario Party 4 minigame domination that he set a new personal and possibly world record and broke the game. As first reported by Polygon, Ogren pulled off this amazing bit of button mashing earlier this week. His technique looks a bit odd, holding the controller with his thumbs and rocking it up and down very quickly, but it worked. So, I mean,
And I think the Switch controller is perfect for this because it's such a flat button. There's not a lot to it.
yeah.
Look how happy he is
I like
too.
that he
Like,
just does the flex too. He's just jacked.
like, has he not done this before? He may not have done this before. Well, he probably went off. I
think
don't
to
know
the
if he's
point-
seen the black.
Right, to the point where he just goes beyond the level's capability to keep that character going.
God, he's so happy. This is just.
It's pretty dope. Pretty dope. I've accomplished, way less things in my life, so kudos. But yeah, I just thought that was pretty awesome.
It's great.
Now, there were some pretty cool indie games, Gavin, I wanted to show you and get your take on. There's a couple of them. So now we'll start with the first one that is called Not for Broadcast, and I want to
wonder if I've heard
get
of
your
this
take
before.
on that. You might have. So I mean, I think it's been kicking around for a while. But there's this trailer that I thought was pretty cool to
This
explain.
is looking like a hot. Nope, I haven't seen this.
So it's a mixture of like FMV or like live action with the gameplay.
Yes.
So I'm starting the trailer now. This is not for broadcast. Give you an idea of the gameplay here.
Love that guy's wig, and if that's not a wig,
So you're basically controlling
fix
the.
that.
You're almost like the editor in the booth controlling the video of a newscast, and you're seeing like actual footage here
Profit
that
from
they
your
record.
choices.
And it's your job to like cue stuff at the right time, but also make sure everything's like on point. It looks like they've done like intentionally bad acting on purpose.
Right. I would play this.
It looks awesome. There's a lot that you're manipulating.
I
I love
feel
that
like,
you have to censor in real time.
right. I feel like I'd play this with you. Like I want
Oh,
to
it'd be
play this
great.
with a group. This
Yep.
isn't just like chill by yourself. Is that Harrison fucking Ford?
No. It's his neighbor, but it looks like him. What a great
That's-
idea, too.
Is this not Devolver Digital?
No, it looks exactly like it'd be right up their
This
alley.
is their bread and butter right here, and they didn't jump on that shit. Sorry, does that say Game Trailers TV? Is that
Yeah, they're
still around as
Oh,
a
yeah.
YouTube
Yeah, they
channel?
train too. They've done like Patreons and stuff. Like they've stayed alive doing their own thing.
God.
But so not for broadcast, a 1980s dystopia, propaganda radio TV thing that you're controlling. So the game is headed to PC in 2020. I wanted to shed light. So the dev is Not Games is the name of the dev.
Of course it is. I would play that.
Yeah?
Like I'm not huge on these I do need to check out Her Story and whatever the story to Her Story, or not sequel, but like the game after to Her Story is. So I need to get a little bit into these FMV games, but that looks great.
Right? Yeah, I'm really digging that. Here's the next one, Gavin. It's called 100 Days. It's a wine simulator. I wanted to get your take on this. This is from developers Broken
Oh, are you
Arms.
gonna have, by the way, the flight simulator?
No, but I can look that up.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It is a flight passenger simulator.
Oh, that was in the news. Yeah. You're right. I didn't pay much attention to that.
Somebody was fucking brilliant, and it's like different conditions. Like the clouds are going to be different. Like the
Yikes.
that's like who made this?
Yeah, I'll pull that up. You're right. I remember seeing that and just like put that in mind.
I love it.
So this is 100 Days. This is from developers Broken Arms Games.
All right, brilliant.
And it is basically a wine simulator. You're making your own wine.
Okay.
And it's almost like SimCity-esque where you're, managing a land and kind of managing the plot.
Or is this more like this looks like a Facebook game from a distance. This is your farm.
You can zoom in on the grapes and stuff.
Cool. Sweet.
Right?
I'm about it.
I love Sims like this, so I feel like I'm kind of, I'm interested for sure. Because I love...
See, now I feel bad because I'm so not into him, so I'm going to be shitting on this.
Go for
Well,
it.
you're just like, man, if I could just get my hands on some grapes. But we're also from like a huge wine
This is
town.
hop
So maybe
wine
we should
country,
be
baby.
Yeah. If they make a hop version and it's literally based
Whoa.
around our one city.
Oh, Gavin, there you go. Build a fucking hop game. There
That's
you go.
what I'll do.
What do you think under the hood is required for something that's like a simulator? Is that just development-wise? It seems like pretty daunting amount of stuff. To manage all these different systems.
Yes and no. It's one of those ones where it's like, it sucks because you could, so like, let's say it looks like this, and a month later, it's still going to look like this.
Okay.
And you, as the developer, will be the only one that knows the difference between this month and
Right.
last month. And that's really hard to keep yourself motivated when you can't really show people
Yeah.
what's different, or like it can
You'll
be
know
very
that,
frustrating.
okay, these systems now work, or I implemented this new thing, but
Right.
it's all under the hood and you don't visually see
Or
it.
if you make something especially, simulated and realistic, people may not notice or honestly give a fuck.
Gotcha.
So like, what was that one weird Noita, that pixel game where every pixel has a
Right.
physics.
Yeah.
Like there's this whole chemistry element to it that's absolute batshit crazy. I watched this YouTube series on it, and it's like, no one's gonna see that unless you're perusing YouTube.
Or you're some chemical, engineer where you're just like, oh yeah, they were able to simulate that. Cool.
Right. And there's like rare chemicals that exist and are randomly generated per playthrough. And it's like, no one's going to see that.
Yeah. Well, Gavin, our next game is The Stretchers.
The Stretchers.
It's on Switch. Or it's on Switch. It's actually a Nintendo published game here. So it reminds me a lot of like Crazy Taxi meets something else. But
it reminds me of Shotgun Farmers is what it reminds me of.
So it looks like you run a half-assed ambulance company and you're just...
All right, now I see the Crazy Taxi.
Through, right, because you have to go and pick up these people and then...
So to me, it's like Crazy Taxi combined with, what's that game about moving shit?
You're right. Movers? Yeah.
I do want to play that game. I think the mover game. This I don't know about.
Or Overcooked is another game that's kind of like that.
We have never played Over. That's the problem.
I have it.
You need like 4 people to play Overcooked properly. So we'll get you, me, and we'll get your nephew and one of his friends as well, and we'll just all yell at each other until we hate each other, and that'll be a fun little weekend. What are we doing with this pig?
You're hypnotizing it.
We made it fatter somehow. Just in the head.
So it's available now, but I thought that was
I saw, so they showed Sonic Mania. Those devs did a Kickstarter and then took it down, which made me sad because it looked...
For a new game?
Yeah. Looked pretty.
What was the reason? They got funding somewhere maybe?
Didn't really make its goal.
Okay.
I think, and that's one of those things with those Kickstarters. If they don't make their goal in such a time period, people just stop throwing money at them, which is Kickstarter is such like a weird fucking monster. Yeah. That's why there was even some people that have talked about like their first time on Kickstarter. It's like really you pick a small enough amount that you can hit, and then people go way past it.
Gotcha.
So it's like that's sort of the weird, shitty place Kickstarters are kind of in that.
This one seemed interesting, Gavin. It's called Volferis. I'm going to name my child Volferis. Sounds like a Viking.
Oh, sweet.
Priest. So Steel Mantis is the name of the developer on this one.
Sounds familiar.
This is on PS4 and PC release, I want to say as well.
This is weird animating on the 2's art style. I don't know what to do with.
It's like a 2D Doom kind of Metroid.
Death soundtrack by Death Clock. Like, what do we...
That looks pretty nuts.
I hate the visuals. I really do. But I just don't like this style. I think it's gorgeous.
I like it. Yeah.
But I hate it.
Gotcha. It's doing it for me. Something about it.
I think
feel like these developers could tackle like a weird Turok, like a weird new
Oh, there you go.
Like but 2D still, do something like that.
I wonder if these were the guys that were doing those really quality like X and A games back in the day when nobody was making good X and A games.
I'm going to look up. So it was Steel something, right? It was a Steel Mantis. Let's see.
Steel Mantis. I bet it was them. But it's gorgeous. I don't like the style of it, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I think that's going to tickle a lot of people's fancy.
Oh, yeah.
What in the French are we looking at here?
They're just promoting Steel Mantis. So, the last game. So I'm not sure if they have another project that they've worked on, or they're devs that have came from projects like that. So, creator of Slain and Volferis. So,
they made Slain?
Apparently.
Slain, if I remember correctly, was terrible when it launched, and it got absolutely review bombed. And if I remember correctly, they doubled down and made it a good game. Okay. If I remember correctly.
I definitely see the influence on the next one.
Like it's gorgeous, but I think the gameplay was terrible, and they're like, no, fuck you. We're making a good game whether you like it or not.
So it's like the No Man's Sky story.
Right. A little bit like that, except for this was like, visually what they promised, but gameplay not, and then they made it really good.
That's awesome.
I think.
Successful enough to make another one. So yeah.
I remember this being in production forever. I remember like back when I first, I think like when I first started doing game dev, way back in the day, they were showing off screenshots for this. It just took forever to make because look at it, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's focused on almost like a pixel art style, but still they kind of go more advanced than that at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it looks dope.
It's good.
So we have Valfaris from Steel Mantis. Now the next one is pretty dope. So this is kickstarting right now. This is called Guinea Pig Parkour.
Okay. Why does this look familiar?
You might have seen this in your dreams, maybe.
I've definitely seen this like 1,000 years ago. Maybe
So,
in like a dev diary or
it's
something.
completely hand drawn. It looks just like Earthworm Jim with the movement and the. Remember him like just using himself as a weapon, and his movement just reminds me of that a lot.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I saw this 1,000 years ago, and when I saw it, I'm like, this is never going to be a thing. That would be way too hard to make. And the fact that they're still working on it is
Well, it's hand drawn, so that's got to be just like Cuphead. Cuphead was. That's a daunting thing. It's gonna take a long time. But you have these cute, not gerbils, but we just learned the name.
guinea pigs.
Guinea pigs. He's got a tracksuit on for some reason.
Right.
You know what? It reminds me of Spot from 7-Eleven. Remember that? No, 7-Up, that Spot game.
Yeah, cool spot.
Mm-hmm, cool Spot.
I have one of my buds from back in Chicago owns the has the
Spot?
world record for speedrunning Cool Spot.
Oh, him and like what? Because
No, it was Yo Noid. Yo Noid. Never mind.
Oh,
Also,
okay.
he'd probably be like, "Did he just call me his friend?" And I'd be like, "All right."
My best friend. I vouch for him. Those guinea pig.
Held my hair back when I was throwing up. It's fine.
Now this one apparently is, so it's animated and developed completely by one person, Jeff Mum.
Well, that explains why I saw it 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Don't people like I
Don't go
love you
along.
when you do these one-person development studio. Don't do that.
Now,
That's-
why is that? Without talking to him, right? We don't know the idea behind it, but is it financially or just like creative wise? He wants to make sure that this is his vision, or doesn't have enough money to pay someone else to work on it. It is Kickstarted though, so maybe that's part of the Kickstarter is the funds go to hiring someone else. So
well, it's not
lose his
Kickstarted
mind.
yet.
Yeah,
it's
so
about
they're-
halfway. How
So
many days they got to go?
It's been 5 days so far. There's 22 days to go. They have 10 grand. Basically, they need 20 grand. Some of the little pledges here, like benchmarks, $30 or more, you get music from Guinea Pig. So I wonder if this is the attempt to get someone else to kind of help with the programming, or just to help him go full time. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's outliers there that like are able to do everything on a game, but at what cost? And I wonder if it's just
Right.
financial reasons why they have to do it that way. And that's
I mean, some people, there are definitely different reasons for it. Like you got, what's his name? Grape Ape or whatever that made something
Grape
Valley, that
is that ranch.
Harvest
It's like Hidden
Moon
Valley?
style game.
Okay.
That was one person. Like some people, I don't know. To me, it's like I get there are definitely people that can do it, but to me, I don't understand it. I don't work that way, and it doesn't make sense in my head why you would work that way. It's not wrong to do it that way,
Yeah.
but to my brain, it seems impossible.
I imagine they don't prefer it. It's got to be a reality of like I don't have
Some
the
people,
time
I
or
think,
money to
do.
pay someone else.
Yeah,
to do it.
certainly it's money for some people, but it breaks my brain.
Now, do I want to have my own caricature a version of myself as a guinea pig? Yeah, these
Yeah.
little adorable little guinea pigs. I want my own with glasses and and hair and tattoos. I want
Yeah.
my own guinea pig. I'm gonna go out to buy a guinea pig tomorrow. Actually, so there's that one.
Did you include the?
I couldn't find that game you were telling me about. Yeah,
I
so
literally sent you a link, didn't I?
you did. No, you sent me the name of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can find it on Circuit. Anyway,
Bumper
Super Mario
Breaks.
64 Land. Is this where I think it is?
This looks like
has
it's a
been in-
fan made game, but it's like compiling all this different new stuff for
It's the one
Super
that's
Mario.
It's a ROM
64.
hack that's been in production for like 1,000 years.
So here's
Not what I was thinking of.
this is a trailer for it.
Holy shit!
So they've implemented other stuff from other Mario games into like a Super Mario 64 world.
This is amazing.
Explore exciting new worlds, meet new friends. They've created new like boss battles, new power ups. So you have
I wonder if this is the same dev
Is it the
that
Tanuki
did
suit?
that huge mod. But yeah, this is
the cat
amazing.
suit. Yeah.
What?
Got the
This
cool
looks
hands.
better than Super Mario 64.
Watch yourself.
No.
Okay.
32 new levels?
That's pretty dope. Available now. Maybe early access, some kind of thing, but on PC only right now. But
You got to download it like this second too before like before it's gone, and it will be gone. Nintendo will fight this shit.
I'm sure you're right. Yeah. So, what kind of legal status or wiggle room do they have to work on something like this? As long as they don't know what charge for it, they have a separate like Patreon, like that's where you pay for it.
Well, they can't defend themselves. They don't have a leg to stand on.
I see.
So once Nintendo comes after them, it's down and it's just out on Pirate Bay, and that's the only way to get it. So the key is to get it now before you get a virus with it and have to go on Pirate Bay.
Gotcha. I see. But
so if you download that, I will have you email it to me.
Oh, we can set it up,
and I will play that shit.
Yeah, it seemed really cool. I'm very interested to see what happens with that. Here's another game. This is more up my alley, I think, maybe, but it's a super weird Katamari style game from the creators of Katamari. That's a whole new thing. So I wanted to get your take on it. This is Watam. It arrives December 17th. And this is a wide release. It's on like PS4, Xbox. But you have these cool little weird looking dudes, and you have to do stuff for them to make them happy, sad, confused. You do all these different things. It's very Japanese.
This does look very Japanese.
Yeah, which is right up my alley. I love Katamari Damacy. I love, Jet Grind
Is that
Radio.
a nose with legs sticking out of its nostrils?
You're a mouth eating strawberries. You're a nose. There's a nut. There's a rock. There's a latte in the background. Okay, reconnect friends. So you almost have to do missions for these weird like town people. There's a turd that you're flushing. It's a mushroom. Yeah, like this is great. There's a golden turd.
There's
He's
so much
farting. I feel like they data mined my dreams, or they've just like dug around in my brain. This is the stuff that's in there. There's a telephone. Play solo or co-op. Gavin, you gotta play this game with me.
When they do a crossover
With who?
with not Duck Game, what's the Goose Game?
Oh, Untitled Goose Game?
Untitled Goose
Yep.
Game.
He just shows up and just fucking wrecks
Would
shit.
he not fit in?
He would be the enemy. He would just be the asshole. Like, they'd have to rebuild the town after him, but he could fit in.
I did like a meme I saw today of Untitled Goose Game, which is it was like a security cam footage showing of a goose keeping a puppy warm at night under its feathers.
Oh,
And
okay.
then it cuts to like the face, and it's like, war is sometimes not an option, or peace is sometimes not an option.
What?
It's like, oh, which is very surprising because if you ever met a geese or a goose,
Yeah.
they're assholes.
Yeah, that's
they're
true to life. Like,
nothing redeemable.
no. So that was Watam, another cool old Japanese game coming out.
I bet the creator's proud of that one. That is.
Now, what is that flight simulator game you're talking about?
I don't fucking know. Look up Destructoid. That's my one whole game website that I go to for all my news.
Oh, my lifeblood Kotaku's down. So.
That's how I make all my opinions. Is on. No, just scroll down. Just scroll down. It's on the.
So we
front page.
got Destructoid queued up here. We have The Witcher 3. We have We Happy Few.
Yep.
How old is this thing, you think?
It's still on front page, I believe.
Gotcha.
NES mouse.
Wait, this NES style mouse from 8-Bit Dell looks legit. That is legit.
It's also got a D-pad on the side, which I
What?
fucking love. There it is.
That's what it was.
Falconer.
The Falconer. I couldn't find. I googled the Falconer. Couldn't find this. So here's the actual.
It's got a very emotional trailer just based on the music and the cutting of it. So.
Gotcha. So this is the Falconer, Xbox One. I feel like you have to be very careful saying that.
Yeah, you need
Falconer.
music for this one.
Gotcha. XN19 announcement trailer.
This is so pretty. I mean, it's kind of just like a flight sim game, but instead of
Okay.
using planes, we're using riding eagles in this beautiful universe.
Are you the eagle or you're riding it?
You're riding it. I think you have
Ooh,
cannons.
you know what? I love Panzer Dragoon, so I feel like if you could do something like that, I don't know if there's a shooting mechanic to this, but
Oh, yeah.
that song is dope.
Right?
Take to the sky.
Clouds. I believe those are volumetric clouds, which come at me, nerds, for not knowing what that is.
This lightning looked like it was chasing you for a second.
Maybe. 2 moons in the background I just saw.
There is shooting. Nice. This is a lot of Panzer Dragoon vibes I get from this.
There just haven't been a game like this for a long time.
You know what? There's an Xbox release title, launch title. It was like Crimson Skies. People really dug, but it was like a World War II one kind of shooter.
Where dragons?
No, not at all. But I just like that gameplay was really. People really love that gameplay.
I think that was Xbox.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Just original Xbox.
Wasn't that just like an RPG?
Maybe with flight stuff added to it or mechanics.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, Crimson Tides, Crimson Sky, something like that.
Yeah.
No, that's dope. Falconer, it's on my radar for sure.
That's
It's
fucking
awesome.
sweet.
It's a eventual Xbox One and PC release planned for 2020. So we'll keep an eye on that. If that is one of their first party or like Game Pass titles, even better because I'll be playing that for sure.
I can see it. It's strange that they didn't say PlayStation, because why wouldn't you? And that could run on the fucking Switch. Like, aside from those
It
clouds,
looks like it, but maybe it would have a hard time. But I mean,
Yeah.
it could do it.
those clouds weren't anything crazy. You could probably cut down the polygons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was going to say, but I don't want to say that too. Yeah, that's all I have for you this week.
It's a good week.
Good week.
That was a short, since we met in the middle of last week,
Mhm.
and then we also.
You say short, but really it's been an hour and a half. So
I saw it in there, but you actually skipped over was the League of Legends concert, which
you know
is
what? Yeah, I wasn't sure if you wanted to
off the fucking chain. We can't watch it. It's like 40 minutes long.
No, but I just saw like little clips. The reason why I came on the Verge did an article on it was about the hologram stuff they did with it.
They did multiple layers
Yeah.
of projected imagery, and my favorite part, there was this rapper that's on stage rapping, and
Yeah.
they teleport him around the fucking
That was
stage.
really cool. So that means he's like pre-recording stuff so they can move him
Yes.
around, right? Gotcha.
And like this part with it, and that's a very specific character. I forget her name, but she's a blade dancer, so she swings these blades around herself.
Gotcha.
She's actually a ninja killer, which is cool because I think she was the first. Like, there was a bunch of ninjas in the game, so when they brought her around, she was a ninja killer. It's like, oh fuck. But yeah, they're the tricky bits. I think the part of the coolest thing is what they do with the lighting. Also, one of the League of Legends players out there, like, everyone's playing tough, and there's this one white dude that's just like, this is fucking cool.
Yeah. It's funny they have a huge auditorium, just like arena of people clapping.
huge.
And the dorkiest like teenagers going, "Hi, I played this game."
When you got to remember, so in like Korea, they've been building arenas for this for a while, but in
Yeah.
America, they're just now starting to build.
And we still don't fully
arenas.
understand what's going on. I don't.
Well, maybe you don't,
I
but
don't.
I
But
mean,
if you talk to Joe Schmo and you show him this, it's like, what?
right. This is like an uncut of the.
Yeah, this is the whole performance. At least it's like 14 minutes long, but
Yeah, they got like the fake band that pops up. Like, that's the character. That's Yasuo.
yeah, it's dope.
Throwing out his tornado.
So this guy,
This is my favorite. One of my
He's
favorite.
got like
bits.
the Nickelodeon animations around him, and then
Yeah.
he's just like.
And I remember seeing on like some articles on like the Verge and shit about it, there was a bunch of different musical performers. They were just like, we've been wanting to do this. We've been pretty sure it's possible, and
Yeah.
they just hit it first.
That's awesome.
So-
Yeah, I want to see more of this kind of tech.
Right? Like, he teleports around like 3 times. That's so fucking cool.
Although the key to his part is like keeping it really dark so you can move the lighting where you want to.
Yes,
Although
absolutely.
I feel like performing in that area could be stressful. It's like, don't walk off
Sure.
this point.
Well, even look at what the background dancers are having to do. They're walking in on these blinking lights. Like, it's very technically hard to do.
Yeah.
But yeah,
If you have seizures, don't watch this. That's for sure.
yeah, it's incredible though. It was impressive.
That's dope. Yeah, I saw that and I thought it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And League of Legends is huge. It just like I can never comprehend just how big it is. This is an example of like, whoa, this is insanely huge around the world, especially.
Well, this is something in the last, like, they've been progressing towards this point because outside of the game, they've been doing these cinematic trailers for these characters. Like, you still need to watch the Jinx trailer. Like, these announcements they'll do for these characters. The animation quality they've been doing is off the chain. We can watch that off stream. But,
Gotcha.
like it's been getting better and better and better, and they've started to do these music videos. And that's just been the new thing they've been doing is these music videos, and some of them are like they're bringing these artists and they're like actually making good songs, and the production quality is just it's out of this world.
Gotcha.
So this is what they do now.
I'm trying to stay hip, Gavin. Trying to be in the
so hip with your League of Legends. This
doing my
game that's
flossing and, trying to
8
stay-
years old. I was playing it back in beta when Mordekaiser was goddamn invincible, and now he's just very fucking invincible.
Alrighty, Gavin. Well, that's it for us this week. Where can they find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at DrunkDevs.
Awesome. And they can find me, us, everyone, no one on Plastic Art Pod on Twitter. And that is it for us this week. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.